everyone. First of all, thank you for you giving me the opportunity to present my academic reading final project. May introduce myself. My name is Hafidz Hasan from the English Education Department. Today, I would like to present an article entitled "The Effectiveness of Extensive Reading Strategy on the Student Ability in Reading Comprehension." Let's begin with the presentation. Before starting, let me explain the outline of my presentation. Today, I will discuss the background of the study, the research problem, the objective, and the literature review, the methodology, the findings, the recommendation, the conclusion, and finally the reference. Backgrounds. Reading is one of the most of important skills in learning English because it helps students understand information, improve vocabulary, and develop critical thinking. However, many students still have difficulty understanding English text. They often have limited vocabulary, lack reading habits, and feel unmotivated to read. Because of this problem, teachers need an effective teaching strategy. One strategy discussed in this article is extensive reading. Research problem. The main research problem in this study is whatever is the extensive reading strategy can improve student reading comprehension. The research want to know if student could understand English text better after using this strategy. Research objective. This research has three objectives. First, to determine whether extensive reading improve student reading comprehension. Second, to compare student reading ability before and after the treatment. Third, to provide evidence that extensive reading can be used as an effective teaching strategy. Next, importance of the study. The study is beneficial for both student and teacher. For student, extensive reading help improve vocabulary, reading comprehension, and reading habits. And for teacher, this strategy provides an alternative way to teach reading in a more enjoyable and student-centered manner. Next, what is reading? Reading is the process of understanding written information. It is not only about recognizing words, but also understanding the meaning of sentence, identifying main ideas, and making conclusion. Reading is an essential skill because it supports learning in many subjects. Next, reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is the ability to understand and interpret written text. Students who have good reading comprehension can identify important information, understand the writer ideas, and answer question correctly. This is the main focus of the research. Next, what is extensive reading? Extensive, intensive reading is a learning strategy where students read many interesting and easy texts according to their own interests. Students read for enjoyment and general understanding rather the translating every word. This makes reading more enjoyable and less stressful. Next, benefits of extensive reading. There are many benefits of extensive reading. It helps students increase their vocabulary, improve reading fluency, strengthen grammar knowledge, and develop better reading comprehension. It also motivates students to read more frequently because they can choose interesting materials. Next, literature review. The literature review explains the theory related to extensive reading. Previous students have shown the student who reads regularly usually achieve better reading comprehension. Next, research design. The research used a quantitative research approach with an experimental method. The purpose of this design was to measure student reading achievement before and after applying the extensive reading strategy. This method allowed the research to evaluate whether the strategy was effective. Next, participant. The participant, the participants were students selected by research. The participated in the research by taking reading tests before then and after the learning process. Next is research instrument. The research used reading comprehension test as the main instrument. There were two tests. Next, data collection. The research was conducted in several stages. First, students complete up the pre-test. Next, they learn using the extensive reading strategy. And finally, they complete the post-test. Next, data analysis. The research compared the pre-test and post-test scores. Statistical analysis was used to determine whether there was a significant improvement in student reading comprehension after the treatment. And next, findings. The findings showed the student reading comprehension improved after using extensive reading. The most students achieved higher score on the protest and post-test than on the pre-test. Next is discussion. The improvement happened because students had more opportunities to read English text regularly. As they read more, the learn new vocabulary become more familiar with sentence structure and develop better reading skill. Next, strength of extensive reading. Extensive reading has several strengths. It is easy to implement, encourage independent learning, increase student motivation, and create enjoyable reading experience. And next, recommendation. Based on this research, teachers are encouraged to use extensive reading in their classes. Teachers should provide interesting reading materials and allow students to choose texts that match their interests. Next is suggestion. For future research, it is recommended to involve more participation and conduct longer study. Future research can also investigate the effectiveness of extensive reading at different educational levels. And the last is conclusion. In conclusion, a study provides that extensive reading is effective strategy for improving student reading comprehension. Students become more confident, increase their vocabulary, and understand text more effectively. Therefore, extensive reading is highly recommended for English language learning. Next, the personal reflection. After reading this article, I learned the reading does not have to be difficult or boring. When students enjoy what they read, they become more motivated and improve naturally. I believe extensive reading is a useful strategy that I can apply in my future teaching practice. Thank you. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question and suggestion, we'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. Bye bye.